So it's been nearly 2 years since Disney's Amphibia ended, and it's been nearly 2 years since I made my video where I rank all Amphibia episodes from worst to best. Throughout that period of time, I've come to realize that there are episodes in that video that have grown on me and there are others that have not aged the best for my taste. Besides, by the time I finished my script for the video, the series had only just ended for a week. I didn't quite have the time needed to digest the show as a whole, so I'll admit that my preference on certain episodes have changed, some in a significant way, some not so much. And that's pretty much the purpose of this video. I'll try to re-rank a few Amphibia episodes based on my current perception of them. I'm not going to rehash my ranking in numerical order as that will make this video an hour long. If you want to watch my original ranking, you can click the link in the description or the card above. So let's get started. In my original video, I placed Mother of Olms as my second least favorite episode in the show. I put Cracking Mrs. Croaker in the bottom of my ranking as I said that its characterization of Sprig leaves a lot to be desired, but I think I'm a little bit too harsh on it. The thing about the episode is that it's not meant to be taken all that seriously. On its own, it's a harmless episode that doesn't impact the show negatively all that much outside of introducing Mrs. Croaker in a pretty cool way. It serves its purpose as a good world building on Wartwood, just like a majority of Season 1 episodes. Mother of Olms, on the other hand, is nearly irredeemable. It's built up to be a very significant episode for the show, but it turned out to be an absolute booger fest. The conflict surrounding Hop-Up is useless, the running joke about Sasha being grossed out wears out very fast, and ultimately the long-awaited prophecy in the end feels so unearned, considering the slog that we have to go through to get to that point. Like, the scene in and of itself looks cool and I was happy that the show has finally got to that point, but you can't expect to spray a perfume on an already stinky poop and expect it to not smell anymore. I'm still speechless on how much of a wasted potential this episode is. So yeah, this is by a mile the worst episode in the show. As of Cracking Mrs. Croaker, it can be placed somewhere around 103, 104, it doesn't really matter all that much. Next one is Hop Up and Lock, which was placed at number 96. I admit, I kind of forgot that I put these episodes into tier lists because this was in the alright category. I was definitely brushing this episode aside because of the Hop Up and Sylvia dynamic, which I wasn't too fond of. But you know what, looking back at it, this episode is a whole lot of fun. The dance montage is pretty hilarious, the song's a total bop, and I like the conclusion to this dance-off trope. It's just two old frogs doing their own thing in their natural habitat. It's pretty cute in a way, and this is definitely the best Sylvia-related episode in the show. I'm putting this episode right under After the Rain. I also think the domino effect should have been in the decent category as well, because I don't care if it's a play on the stray Pat's gone evil trope. Cats deserve better, even though one of them is a monster. There are a few episodes in the decent tier that I would move down to the alright category though. Adventures in cat setting is not really all that interesting for me outside of the heartwarming moment between the planters and Mr. Bunchoy. Sure, it's a good idea for the planters to explore the city by themselves, but I'd like something bolder than this. Olmtown Road suffers from a bit of blandness as well outside of a pretty stunning visual display. The humor and the climax of the episode fall flat and the Olm characters don't quite captivate me. Another one is Hollywood Hop-Up. I feel like the episode is a bit redundant, especially since it's released right after quite a traumatizing episode. You have a dark ending to an episode where the show's most beloved character gets possessed, and then right after you have an episode about Hop-Up auditioning to be a movie star. Like, this part of the season is just so unserious. How Popular is a season 1 episode that has grown off me over the years because I found the duel between the two future mayors to be so predictable, and the episode just returns to status quo in the end, so it's nearly pointless. Well, we all know it's not, since Hop-Up's political agenda has offended the white girl and makes her want to kill him, but I just wish the episode's execution was better. Fight or Flight is also a pretty underwhelming addition to Season 3B because when I first looked at the title, I was like, oh boy, I hope this is going to be a treat. But there's not many notable things happening in this episode outside of the return of Domino 2, which is cool, and also cats. I love cats, but not enough for me to like this episode. I'm not putting Mr. X down a tier, but I rank it down a few placements since I think there are episodes under it that are more entertaining than it. And now we move on to the good section. I'm putting Bessie and Michelangelo lower because as cute as the action between the two snails is, I don't think it's one of the more memorable episodes in season 2. I would also put the Planters check-in and Sprig gets schooled into the decent section as well because while I think they're pretty fun, their main purpose is solely to flesh out the world of Newtopia and not a lot of exploration outside of that. I have no idea how the root of evil is that high on the list. I don't think the reincorporation of the previous season 1 plot points like the spores works that well. I think the execution of the episode in the context of the rest of the season feels a bit off. It should have been in the alright tier. Lost in Newtopia, meanwhile, is the best exploration of the world of Newtopia I've seen in the show. There's a lot of unique places and habits in the town that we're introduced to, and the hijinks they create in the end is really funny too. Cursed also has that Amphibia sauce. Maddie is really cool in that episode. I love that little bean so much. And finally, Bizarre Bazaar deserves more credits for bringing more world building in Amphibia in a really intriguing way, while also serving as an exciting and a pretty high-stake adventure for Sprig and Anne, as well as subtly hinting towards Valeriana's bigger role in the show. I love how high I put Sprivy on the list. I wanted to joke about putting it even higher, but I'm not gonna be that harsh to you guys. I'm a kind person, I don't lie. I think Froggy Little Christmas is a little too high on the list. I won't relegate it down a tier, but I don't think it's as fun as episodes like Return to Warpwood or Cursed or the first 2 episodes of the show. So I'm putting it right below where I put Lost in Newtopia. Looking back at it, I'm also proud of my placement of Sprig's birthday because I do think it's a pretty underrated episode in the show. It's one of the few season 3A episodes that is legitimately funny and has that season 1 style of humor. Maybe it was just me missing this kind of episode where it's just Anne and Sprig hanging out. I like how wholesome the entire montage at the start of the episode is. Escape to Amphibia feels way too high for me though. Sure, it's nice to see all the human friends in one place, but I don't know, it's not as exciting as I used to picture it. Some scenes like that callback to True Colors and that reference to Star Wars are still very funny though. But I'm still putting it all the way down to just at the bottom of the great tier. Toadcatcher is a nice introduction to Sasha's life post-reunion, but I don't think it should be this high on this list too. Outside of that, for the top 20 episodes of the show, I don't think I will change anything. I'm pretty happy with what it is. Okay, I'm lying, I might not be a kind person after all. I will put Barrel's Warhammer down to the great tier. I don't think it has that wow factor in it for me to put it in the same league as the Temple episodes or Olivia and Yunnan. Still, doesn't change the fact that Sasha and Grime riding the giant worm like their amphibious own Lisan al-Gaib is one of the most exciting action scenes in the show. I'm sorry, I have to make that Dune reference, I just have to. But yeah, even today, I'm still happy with my top 10 picks for the best episodes in the series. In my opinion, those episodes encapsulate the essence of Amphibia so well, while also adding a bit extra into it. I can enjoy an episode like Wally and Anne so much that I'm confident in putting it on the top 10, with how it manages to create a heartwarming moment between Anne and a Warpwood person and a significant stepping stone for Anne's overall character development. The dinner and Battle of the Bands gave me so much nostalgia, man. The way the entire Amphibia community was united at that time was unmatched. Really, these episodes and also others down the list were enjoyable in their own way. You don't have to like every one of them, but you can't deny that these episodes make Amphibia so special, even the quote-unquote useless ones. Except Mother of Ohms, you are truly useless. You can go rot in the gutter. You can access the updated ranking in the description. Thank you for watching. I'm not sure if I can make more cartoon related videos in the near future, since I'll be busy doing college for the next few months. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time when the Art of Amphibia book drops. Ciao!